welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you guys are new. My name is Dina. I am so happy to have you guys here. Today we are talking all about the earth element. We're going to talk about what is the earth element, what does it represent, and also how can you incorporate the earth element into your witchcraft practice. So this is the second of this series. I actually already made a video all about working with the water element. So if you guys are interested in that video, make sure you go check that one out after this one. I'll make sure to link it in the description box and also at the end of this video. So what is the earth element exactly? It is something of the material 3D world. Now the earth element often encompasses various themes, including grounding, peace, protection, stability. And when I think of stability, I think of the ecosystem and the structures that are within the earth and our ecosystem and how they have a sense of stability or equilibrium. However, if tampered with, if disrespected, like humans often do, these things do come out of balance. But naturally, the earth itself has this natural equilibrium. The earth also often represents patience because of the seasons. Things take time to grow, things take time to change. The earth can represent strength, money, abundance, prosperity. The earth herself gives us so much. And I say herself because a lot of people think of Mother Earth or Mother Gaia, the earth goddess, and that is why the earth is often thought of as prosperous, as a great energy to work with to gain more prosperity in your life, because the earth gives us so much. We get our food from the earth, we get our materials to build our homes, to build everything, every structure, every vehicle, every book, everything that we own comes from the materials of the earth. So the earth herself is extremely abundant. So since Mother Earth provides so much for us, that in itself is also a very nurturing energy. That's why they call her Mother Earth. She takes care of us. When I think of the earth element, I also very much think of the tarot. Tarot is a big part of my everyday life. And when you look at the tarot encompasses all of the elements, and the earth element in the tarot is represented by the pentacles, or sometimes called the coins. And these represent prosperity. They represent abundance, happiness, peace, that warmth, that home life, the material realm. So this is another easy way to remember these things is if you do work with tarot. The tarot is definitely a really good way to gain that understanding of the different elements. So we could probably go even deeper into this, but for the sake of this video, I like to keep things simple. But basically, the earth has so much symbolism to it. And all of these different themes, these ideas can be used within your witchcraft practice. So how can you work with the earth element? Number one, I want to talk about grounding / earthing. So there are literal and metaphorical ways that you can do this. The first one I want to talk about is the literal way of earthing. So what is earthing? If you guys haven't heard of earthing, I want to give you a brief explanation, but I'm also going to link a documentary in the description box below that talks all about earthing, the science behind it. It is so fascinating, guys, and life-changing. I highly recommend checking it out. But basically, earthing involves connecting your bare feet to the earth. A long time ago, this is how we walked around before we invented shoes with these rubber soles that disconnected us from the earth. There's so much research that has come out that actually shows this disconnection has had a negative impact on our health. Grounding or earthing actually has been proven scientifically to reduce inflammation in the body and in turn aids in a multitude of health conditions. Editing Dina here, I just want to rephrase that statement because technically you're not supposed to say proven in science in general, even if there's a lot of evidence. You're supposed to say the evidence from the studies support that this is the case or it is statistically significant, but you're not supposed to say proven. I just wanted to throw that in there because I am someone who learned the scientific method and stuff, and I'm like, I shouldn't have said proven, but they tested this out on so many people and they found that after grounding, the people in the study showed significantly less inflammation in the body. You can actually test when your body is grounded or not. They did a test in this documentary, which you'll see, where they have this device that actually is able to detect if something is grounded or not. And when a person wears shoes on the earth, they are not grounded, but as soon as they take the shoes off and their feet touch the earth, the little device lights up and shows that their body is in fact grounded. There's lots of studies to show how much this has impacted other people's lives. There is so much importance with us connecting to the earth. We are part of the earth. We are not separate from the earth, and we've lost that connection over the years from wearing shoes, from being inside buildings all the time. So even just practicing earthing, going into your backyard and just stepping on the ground for a little while barefoot, or even getting yourself a grounding mat. They actually sell these on Amazon. I'll put a link down below for you guys if you're interested, because this is a fantastic option if you can't get outside a lot, especially if you live in Canada like me and you're not going to put your bare feet in the snow. Now I want to talk about the metaphorical grounding. Basically using your mind, your ability to visualize, to ground to the earth. This can be done anywhere for any amount of time. This can be used for eliminating excess energy. So if you have pent up anxiety, anger, whatever it may be, it is really good for releasing that. Grounding brings balance back into your energetic field. We are often caught up in the overload of the other elements. And what I mean by that is water, our emotions often take over, and they can be very extreme, they can be very intense. And a lot of us can sometimes be controlled by our emotions. So grounding and, pulling in that earth energy could actually balance out your emotions. There's also the fire element, which is a very passionate energy, but the fire in excess can also be that fiery temper. Like maybe you're really angry. Maybe you're so passionate about something that it's kind of like taken over you and you're not really seeing the big picture. Then we got the air energy. And obviously we need that air energy. Air energy is thought, it's contemplation, it's reasoning, logical thinking, all that. But air energy in excess is obviously not healthy either, because air energy in excess is overthinking, anxiety. Our minds can become overactive and cause a lot of conflict for us. So again, incorporating that earth energy grounds you, eliminates that excess energy. So earth energy I find is very, very healing. And obviously there's healing abilities and there's amazing parts of every single element. But that earth energy is extremely helpful if you're somebody who is an overthinker, who has anxiety, who has a lot of stresses in their life, who's very emotional. Earth energy is a very healing energy for you to work with. So highly recommend that. I'm gonna get a little bit more into exactly how to ground if you don't know, because we've talked about what it can do for you, but we need to talk about what it actually is. So how do you ground? Well, there's the rooting technique, which I often use and I have talked about in other videos. And the rooting technique is basically when you close your eyes, and you can do this sitting on the ground, on the floor, wherever you feel comfortable. And what you want to do is you want to imagine that roots are coming from your root chakra and they're going into the earth. Any excess energy, anything that you need to release that is built up, that is causing conflict, imbalance in the body, is leaving your body and going into the earth. The earth is taking that, it's transmuting that into something that is more powerful, more healthy, more balanced, because that's what the earth does. And then you are maybe pulling that balanced earth energy into your body. So this visualization might be slightly different for different people. You may visualize it a little bit differently, but essentially you are envisioning those roots going into the ground. Another way you can ground yourself is mindful eating, mindful drinking of water. Be present in the moment and appreciate what the earth has provided for you. Another way to ground is to use crystals. This is another one of my favorites, and I like to do this intuitively. Obviously there's crystals that are a little bit more linked to grounding, crystals that are usually darker. So crystals like smoky quartz, obsidian, onyx. I say do this intuitively because certain people will like certain crystals and certain people will feel called to certain crystals at different times. You could also hold the crystal while you're doing the other grounding technique, like while you're meditating or you're rooting to the earth. So the next way to work with the earth element is to have an herb garden. Now the reason why I want to talk about this is because there's so many different ways within this practice of having a garden that you can connect with the earth. One of them is that you can very mindfully choose what you are planting, what you are going to take care of, what you are going to grow and cultivate. I would choose specifically herbs that you are going to, one, use in your cooking. So what are you most likely going to use the most? What are you going to appreciate the most? And also, what herbs do you enjoy using in your spell work? And then as you're taking care of your herb garden, as you're cultivating, as you are harvesting, make sure to do it with love and with intention. intention, and also give gratitude when you receive those herbs from the earth. Thank Mother Earth for her prosperity and her abundance and for taking care of you. And then obviously when you go to utilize those herbs in your practice, make sure you're again using them with that love, intention, and gratitude. I think it's a beautiful way to connect with the earth, and also you get those fresh herbs to use in your meals, in your spells, whatever you choose to do. Number 3, connecting to Goddess, specifically Mother Earth or Gaia. If you're someone who is looking to connect to their divine feminine, perhaps you have an excess of masculine energy and you're really looking to balance the two, this could be a really good way to incorporate that feminine. Now, why is the earth energy thought of as the feminine energy? Well, it is because the earth provides and nurtures just like a mother does to her child. The earth creates life. The earth is where we plant seeds and they grow and they produce more seeds and those grow. So yes, you may want to connect to Gaia for, you know, enhancing that feminine energy, but for some people it may be something more than that. It may be trying to get pregnant. Maybe you've had difficulty bearing a child. Then this could be a good way to really help with that. Not to mention, you can actually ask deity to help in assisting in your manifestations and manifesting prosperity into your life. When you're doing offerings for a goddess or deity in general, you could do this in a location in the woods or some other place in nature. But the one thing you want to make sure is that you're carefully choosing the things that you are offering up if you are doing it outside, because you don't want to pollute, which is obviously going to make the goddess very angry, because the earth element is an element that needs to be well respected if you want to work with it. If you are polluting the earth, that is not a way to get what you want from the gods. So make sure you are giving things like food, plants, it could be, you know, water, pouring water on the earth, but you don't want to include anything that's like plastics, anything that's going to pollute the earth, anything that's not going to decompose. Avoid all of those things. Another thing you could do is have an altar specifically dedicated for this goddess or deity in your home. Not everyone has the space to do that though, so that is why I like to give the option of giving offerings to goddess in nature itself. Now, the offerings that you make to a deity is really going to depend on the deity itself, so you really have to do your research. But let's talk about Gaia specifically, give you some ideas about where you could start with Gaia. This is just one website that I found some resources on, but there's definitely a lot of information out there, so if this is something that you're interested in, I recommend doing some more reading. But for Gaia, you could give offerings of barley, corn, milk, rice. You could use green candles, green connecting to the earth element, so you can light some green candles on an altar for her. You can use herbs, specifically herbs from your garden would be an amazing offering because you've put so much love and intention into them, so this is something that would definitely be highly respected and appreciated. Number 4, I want to talk about manifesting money. We talked about how the earth is a representation of prosperity, abundance. So one of the best ways to manifest money in your life is showing gratitude, and you can show gratitude for respecting the earth and thanking her for all the things that she has provided for you. So next time you're in nature, really be present and be grateful for the abundance that is around you. You can also work with crystals specifically for wealth and abundance. There's lots of crystals that represent this that you can place around your home, that you can carry with you, that you can keep in your wallet, that you can keep at your work desk. One of the most popular ones is citrine. I like to keep one in my money tree actually. And money trees, by the way, are also often thought of as good luck for prosperity, abundance, and things like that. So that's another thing. You can get yourself a money tree and care for that. Another thing you could do is you could bury a money jar in one of your plants. I don't recommend doing this outside just because you don't want to like pollute or anything like that. You can use a sachet instead, something that can break down if you do want to plant something outside. But if it's just like a potted plant in your house, you could also bury the jar with the intention of manifesting something. So you could put like a wish in a bottle kind of thing, which I actually have a video all about a wish in a bottle. And as the plant grows and flourishes, then your wish will eventually grow and manifest into the world. And you could remove it then from the pot once it has manifested and maybe replace it with a new wish. And a lot of people will also bury coins. You could bury a lucky coin into the earth. It's basically working with the idea that anything you bury will grow. So whatever you want to grow in your life, that is something that you can metaphorically bury. I found this really cute idea on the internet too, so I'll make sure to link the website below for the actual resource, and they talk more about this. But I saw this idea about money pebbles that I thought was really adorable. adorable. Basically, they had this idea to bring in abundance through these pebbles and writing on the pebbles and placing them around the home. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that because that's not my idea, but if you guys are interested in that idea, make sure to check the link out below. Another thing you could do to attract money and prosperity is to hang herb bundles around the home. You can even make sachets if they are smaller herbs that can't be bundled. So one common herb that can be used are cinnamon sticks. Cinnamon sticks are really easy to bundle because they're long and fairly large, so you could easily tie them with string. You could also use chamomile, ginger, mint. You can even use the fresh mint from your herb garden to do that. So these are just a few ideas that you can incorporate into your practice. Final obvious one, guys, is to love and respect Mother Earth because she provides so much for us. She has been taking care of us for so long, but we have not been taking the best care of her. And if we're not careful, then we will lose her. We will lose everything that we have been given, everything that has been provided for us. So it is important that we make better, mindful, sustainable decisions, use less plastics, do not litter, take action on matters that influence the earth. Humans have caused so much destruction, and part of our responsibility as a human being, as a soul on this planet, is to care for her, care for the earth. So this is honestly the biggest way, I would say, to work with the earth element, is to show your love and gratitude and care for the earth. If you are good to the earth, then she will be good to you. We are all connected, we're not separate from, and that is what a lot of humans have been getting wrong for so long. If the earth is unhealthy, we are unhealthy. So this is the biggest, most important way, honestly, that you can work with the earth, guys. I highly recommend taking a look at your own lifestyle, taking a look at what things that you can cut back on, what can you do to be a better human. There are little things that each one of us can do that will make a big impact collectively as a group. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you go check out that water element video if you haven't seen it yet, and make sure you stay tuned because I'll definitely eventually make a video for the fire element and the air element as well. And I also put out new content every single week, and you guys don't want to miss out on it. So make sure you do subscribe to my channel. It is free, guys. It doesn't cost you anything. You get free information on witchcraft. I put so much love and time into my videos, and I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your presence, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.